Hi friends, thank you for being here. Welcome to my YouTube channel, On the Mat with Kelsey. Today we have a really nice, just relaxing class in store. It will be moderately short, and this class is going to be great for beginners because we're going to move slow and we're going to be easy on the joints. This class will start seated for the first half and then end on our backs for the second half. So we will do no weight-bearing exercises on our wrists or our ankles. So it's great if you have pain in those joints or if you're working through an injury. This class is great to do right before bed because it's really going to bring our energy down, help us feel settled, help us feel relaxed. So great before bed. Also good if you just need to feel a little more centered in your day. You will need some props for this class. So if you have a good collection of yoga equipment, you will need a bolster and you will need a yoga strap. If you don't have those things, don't worry. I actually don't have either of those. So you can get the same benefit of a bolster with a big rolled up beach towel. And then instead of a yoga strap, you can use a belt or a thin scarf. You just want it to be somewhat long. And then having a block is always helpful if you have those. Lastly, we won't move too quickly. We're not going to build up too much heat. So if it's cold at all where you are, maybe go ahead and grab a extra layer, hoodie or sweatshirt to feel nice and cozy, maybe some socks too. So go ahead and press pause if you need to grab those props, and we'll meet back here. We're going to start seated today, crisscrossing our legs. If this already generates a little bit of tightness in your hips, you can slide either that towel or a block underneath your hips to get your hips a little higher, have a little more space as we sit here crisscross. Go ahead and close your eyes wherever you're at. Roll your shoulder blades up by your ears. And big sigh out through the mouth. Exhale the shoulders down the back. Bringing your awareness into your body, into this room, and dropping away anything that you were doing before this. Kind of releasing the grip on your to-do list, your tasks for the day, your frustration if you had any pent-up energy if you had any, and just really arrive in your body. Feel your breath coming in your nostrils. And feel the breath exhaling, exiting your body. We're not going to control the breath too much today, but we want to be fully aware of our breathing and invite the breath into every posture we move into today. Allowing our breath to center us, to bring our heart rate down, to open through muscles, joints, fascia. And most of all, just to quiet our mind. Take one more deep, intentional breath with your eyes closed. And exhale. Go ahead and keep your eyes closed. Take your hands to your knees and just lean your torso forward, feeling a stretch in your lower back. We're going to stay here for 3 or 4, maybe 5 breaths. So let your head drop, your chin drops towards your chest. If you have a lot of flexibility in your hips and your low back, you can take your hands forward. With each exhale, creating more space between your ears and the tops of your shoulders. You can let your back round here. And with an inhale, slowly rolling back upright to sit, taking your hands back to your knees. And with our exhale, just tilt your way over towards the right, keeping your left sit bone on the floor. Inhale, slowly circle your weight, your torso forward as you're leaning over the legs. Inhale, now leaning your weight over the other direction towards the left. The right hip bone stays anchored to the floor. Inhaling back up to center. And exhale just in the same slow speed. Torso goes left. Inhale, rotate forward, dropping your head. Exhale, torso goes right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, let your back round here. Drop your chin towards your chest, like cat pose. Inhale, coming back up to center. Moving through that one more time each side, moving in this time slow and steady, but in a continuous circular motion. So we'll, again, inhale, grow up tall on our sit bones. Exhale, reach over towards the right. Inhaling forward, over to the left, and back to center. Exhale over to the left. Inhale forward. Exhale right. And center. Really nice job growing up tall through your spine. Roll the shoulder blades down your back. Exhale your head over to the right. Right ear reaches down towards the ground. Similar shape that we just did, but now it's just isolated in our head. Roll your chin towards your chest. Inhale, roll your head over towards the left. The left ear reaches for the floor. Feeling a really nice opening on the right side of your neck. Inhale, back up to center. Just as slow, just like that. Invite your breath into the movements. Head goes over to the right as we inhale, and back up. Really nice job. Go ahead and inhale, take your hands out wide, rotate your palms forward. And inhale, just reach your arms backwards, your chest pulls forwards. Maybe tilting your head up to look at the ceiling. And then exhale, reverse that shape with your back, round your back, hug your right shoulder, or hug your right elbow over your left elbow and give yourself a hug, drop your head. Inhale, expand your arms back out. This time, bend 90 degrees in your elbows. Make this cactus or goalpost shape with your arms. Inhale, expand the heart open. And then exhale, round. This time, the left elbow goes on top of the right. Drop your chin towards your chest. Good. Inhale, coming back upright. This time, take your hands and you're going to interlace them. I'm going to turn to the side. You're going to interlace them behind your head. So you're creating a little cradle for your head. And just like we did before, inhale, reach your torso up towards the sky. Just a very slight look forward with your head. Maybe just a tiny bit up, but not a dramatic. We don't want to crank on our head or our neck back. But really imagining very lightly, gently, gingerly lifting your head up, creating just a little extra space in between each vertebrae. And maybe take a little side to side motion here as you reach that heart up towards the ceiling. Go ahead, inhale, neutralize the spine, bring the head back to neutral, looking forward. And then exhale, let the back round. Pull the belly button in, tilt the tailbone forward, and drop the chin towards the chest. Very gently here, definitely not pulling on our head dramatically, or even at all. If you feel any tightness, just stay. If you have a little more mobility in your spine, let your chin drop even closer towards your chest. And you can pull your elbows together just slightly, feeling a stretch all the way up to the base of your skull. Go ahead, inhale, come back upright. Release your hands. Reach them out and then forward. We have just a little more opening for our hands. So here, go ahead and expand your hands, reaching all your fingers away from one another, like as big of palms, jazz hands as you can make. And then exhale, close them into a tight fist. We're just gonna do that like 5 times. Inhale, open, really reach your bones away from one another. Grab in a fist. Open and close. 4 and close. 3, close. 2, close. 1, close. Then we're gonna work on our wrists. So pull your fingertips towards your forearms and then expand and push the heels of your hands forward. And bend and flex, and bend and flex, and 3, and 2, and flex, 1. Oof. Hopefully feeling alive in your fingers and your wrists. And then last time, rotate so your thumbs point up, and we'll again pull the fingers back towards your forearms, the outside tops of your forearms, and then the opposite way, so your fingers pull in towards your inner forearms. And open and close, open and close, and 3, and 2, and 1. Whew. Really nice. Shake out your hands. And next, keeping, if you're not already oriented so your chest is pointing towards the short edge of your mat, scooch that direction, and we're coming into tabletop with our wrists on the floor, stacked under our shoulders, our knees stacked under our hips. We're just going to take your left hand right under your chest on the mat, and inhale your right hand up towards the sky, open your chest, and we thread the needle. So the right arm threads underneath the left, and you're sliding this right hand over towards the left wall. Your hips stay high. You can bring the right ear, the right side of your face to the floor. If that feels like way too far away, you can put that bolster here, like a little pillow or your towel. So this is opening your right shoulder, and you're opening in your hips and your lower back. Take a few breaths here. Big breaths in through your nose, expand your chest, expand your belly. To really release, you could open your mouth and sigh it out through your mouth. If you want more opening, you can always walk the left fingertips in by your chest and maybe extend the left arm up. Not necessary at all, only if you want more sensation. Take one more breath here. Go ahead, place your left hand back on the mat. Push into the left hand to unwind the right arm up and back down. Right hand is flat on the floor this time. Inhale the left hand up to the sky, roll the wrist, and then thread the left arm under the right, bringing the left side of the face, the left ear to the floor or maybe onto your towel. Feel that opening happening for your hip and your shoulders, your left shoulder more specifically. Notice if you're holding any tension in your face, in your eyebrows, in your shoulders. We don't want our shoulders up by our ears, but rather relax down the back. Slowly unwinding, pressing your right hand back into the floor. Go ahead and slide your towel out of the way, if you had it there, and curl your toes underneath behind you. We're going to sit back on our heels and open up the bottoms of our feet. Now, this posture can be very intense if your feet are tight, if you have plantar fasciitis. And no, you can always just take breaks by bringing your hips up, coming back into it. We're just going to reach our hands up, then open to a nice V shape. And similar like we did with our hands earlier, we're just gonna do little pulses, back, back, back. Pull your belly button in, 8 and 7 and 6. Keep your hands wide, your elbows straight-ish. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, round your back, hug. And then open straight out to the side and pulse back and back and back. So you're stretching the connective tissue in your shoulder joints. Just little pulses, not yanking your arms back, but just creating more mobility. 3, 2, 1. And give yourself a hug. The other elbow goes on top. And back to center. Bring your hands down into a low V and pulse back, back. Keep the belly button pulled in. Feeling nice and open in your shoulders and your biceps. Feels really good. 4, 3, and 2, and 1. Nice. Whew. Go ahead and walk your hands forward. And then exhale, sit your hips all the way back to a nice child's pose for 3 long breaths. You can take your towel under your forehead. That makes it feel more attainable for you. With your inhale, slowly using your core, roll up to tabletop. Slide the towel out of the way. Crossing your ankles, we're just moving our weight backwards to find a seat. Once again, move your weight forward. Bringing your feet onto the floor. We're slowly going to walk our feet forward. We're preparing for a seated forward fold. I'm going to invite almost all of you, unless you have extremely open hamstrings, to slide that rolled towel or a bolster underneath your knees here. Adjust your stance. You can sit up really tall on your sit bones. Roll your shoulder blades down the back. And feel the spine straight and tall, reaching up out of the top crown of your head towards the ceiling. Reach your hands up. And then hinge forward at the hips, keeping your spine straight to start. Pull that belly button in. Just a little tilt of your tailbone. So you have just a small arch in your back. Inhale here. And with your exhale, slowly release some of that effort. Allow your lower back, your mid back, your upper back to round slightly. And take your hands down by your sides. Letting your shoulders round, but maintaining the space between your ears and the tops of your shoulders. So not letting our shoulders come up, but really letting them stay down the back. Drop your head. And take 3 long breaths here. Using a sigh out through your mouth to release more tension, to relax further into the pose. And with an inhale, slowly pulling your belly button in. Use your core to come upright once again. Bend one knee in closer, bring the foot in closer, and then the other. Slide that block out of the way. And we're getting ready to roll down for the reclined half of our class. Pull your belly button in. Roll yourself down. 1 vertebrae at a time so that your head can come flat onto the floor. Feet flat on the mat, and now heel till your feet wide. So your feet are right at the edges of the mat. Your knees are bent. I like to take my arms out wide here, and we're just windshield wipering our knees side to side. creating some mobility, space, massaging our lower back, our hips. I find this also stretches the tops of my quads or the tops of my thighs. Pulling your knees up to point towards the sky, giving your knees a little hug, and rocking side to side. Next, we're going to move into some opening. We're going to work on one leg at a time. So go ahead and slide your block, or not your block, your strap, or your belt or scarf up towards you so it's right handy. You don't need it quite yet, but we'll use it soon. Extend your right leg up towards the sky. You can have a bend in your knee and just flex the foot and point the foot. Flex and point, flex and point. Now roll the ankle 3 times one way. Just waking up your calf, your shin, your lower leg. Now reverse the circle 3 and 2 and 1. Keeping a slight flex in your foot, we're moving from the hip socket and we're going to rotate the entire leg. So the quad, the knee, the calf, the toe, rotate everything out and come back to neutral and out, exploring some mobility in our hip, neutral, rotate it out. The left leg stays frozen and back to neutral. Really nice. Now bend deeply. Find that strap and fold it in half. Take the midpoint of the strap, go ahead and wrap it around your foot. I like to keep that midpoint wrapped right around the ball of my right foot. Take the ends in either hand. And our back stays really relaxed here. It's really just about this right leg to start. And pull your right knee into your chest. Neutral alignment here, so the knee's over the chest, not out to the side or over towards the left, just right over your right lung. And we're going to start by inhale, bend deeply into the knee. And then exhale, reach the right heel towards the sky. We're working towards straight. You don't have to get anywhere close to straight. But inhale, we bend deeply. Exhale, we find a little stretch in our hamstring. One more time like that. Inhale, bend deeply. Exhale, straighten. Now, if you have a lot of flexibility, you can always keep the left leg extended long. I'm going to keep mine bent. Next, bend deep in the right knee. Grab the strap with this right hand and take your left arm straight out to the left in the half T shape. We're going to pull our knee over towards the floor, towards our right armpit. So we're opening in our hip joint. The right heel keeps reaching for the sky. It's important that both sides of your hips, both sides of your low back stay on the mat. If you find that your left hip is lifting, try turning your head and look over at the left. Just hang out here for 3 relaxing breaths. Letting gravity slowly, gently open your hip. Know if you have, again, more flexibility, you can reach through the heel and straighten the right leg. Last breath. Using an inhale, bring the leg back to center. Now we switch our hands. Using your left hand, grab the strap. Take the right hand out to a T. And here, we're going to lift our hips up and scooch them over to the right 1 or 2 inches, very subtle. And we're slowly going to let our right leg cross the body, twist, dropping it over towards the left wall. Know your knee can be nice and bent. It's more about the twist, the link through our low body, our spine. Turn your head to look over at your right fingertips. Wherever you're at in your twist, take 3 breaths. This time it's okay that your right hip, your right low back comes off the floor. Inhale, use your core to bring that leg back up, right towards the ceiling. Bend and take your hand back to the strap. We find one last little hamstring stretch here. Notice the difference between that first one we did with the strap and this one. Whew. And bend in the knee. Go ahead and remove the strap. Take the feet out wide and windshield wiper side to side. Notice now as you do this, the difference between your right and your left leg. I feel definitely a little bit of tingling in my right leg as the circulation has been working hard, blood's rushing back to the leg. And bring your knees back to neutral. Feet flat on the floor. We do the same thing on our left leg. So starting without the strap, we flex the foot, point the foot, flex the foot, point, flex, and point. Then circle the ankle 1, 2, 3 times and reverse. 2 and 1. Now rotating from the hip socket out. The left knee, leg, toes rotate out and neutral. Rotate out, neutral, last time out. Neutral. Bend deep in the knee. Find your strap. Fold it in half. And place the midpoint of the strap over the ball of your left foot. Notice, your right knee can be bent or the leg can extend. And we bend deeply through the left knee. You pull the knee in towards your chest. And then find length, stretch through your hamstring. Bend, use your breath. Exhale as you straighten. Inhale, bend. And exhale, straighten. Taking the strap in your left hand this time, reach the arm straight out towards the right. Bend deeply in the left knee and then pull the left knee open in the hip. Left knee's pulling down by the left armpit. You can turn your head to look over the right. Inhale, coming back to center. Go ahead and switch the grip of your hands. Left arm extends out. Bend in the knee. Scooch first lifting the hips up and slightly over towards the left, just a little tiny bit. You create a little more space for your twist. And let the left leg fall over towards the right in a twist. The left sit bone, the left hip can lift off the floor. And turn your gaze to look over at your left hand. Know that if your leg is more straight, your left leg is more straight than bent, really reach through the heel of your left foot. You'll feel a stretch, an intense stretch all the way through your IT band and your inner thigh. And with an inhale, bringing your leg back to center. Find one last amazing hamstring stretch. And bend in the left knee. Release the strap. Take both feet flat on the floor and roll them side to side. Now feel the left leg tingling. Pull your knees back to center. Preparing for a supported bridge pose. So feet flat on the floor. You should be able to just barely touch the backs of your heels with your hands. Locating your block or rolled towel or bolster. And we're going to inhale, push into the feet, tilt the tailbone up, pull the belly in, and lift our hips into bridge pose. Just long enough to slide that towel or your block right here under the heaviest part of your hips, your sacrum, and lowering your hips back down over the towel, opening your arms out to the sides. Know that if you want deeper opening, you could just use the block instead, and you can do it on the medium, low, medium, tallest setting, but you want to feel supported there. Close your eyes. Take a couple of breaths. letting the block, bolster, or towel support your hips, really just surrendering into the pose. Taking a few big sighs out through the mouth if you need it. We're preparing our bodies to relax, whether that's into deep sleep after this, or into just a more calm part of our day. And bring your awareness back, pushing into your feet, and slowly sliding the block out if it was there. If you're on the towel, keep it right there where it is. And we're going to pull one knee into center and then the other. And then we're going to extend our legs up towards the sky. You can keep a little bend in your knees. Know that if you don't, if your hips don't feel really supported by the towel, go ahead, bend in the knees. Put the feet on the floor and adjust so that you do. Because we're going to keep our feet reaching up towards the sky and surrender here in legs up the wall pose for 5 breaths by elevating our hips off the floor, taking our feet higher than our head, higher than our face. It's allowing a lot of blood flow, circulation to flow back to our heart. This pose is really amazing if you spend a ton of time on your feet, or if you have any tension, pain in your ankle joints. When I was growing up, I did a lot of dancing. I was a dancer. And whenever we'd go to dance camp where we'd be dancing for hours and hours each day, everyone would go back at the end of the day and we would do this pose. And it feels so amazing for your feet if they're sore. It'd be great after a day of wearing heels too. Take a big sigh out through your mouth with this round of breath. Go ahead and bend your knees in. Take one foot to the floor and the other. Lifting your hips just enough to slide that block out of the way. And roll your back all the way to the floor. Go ahead and heel toe your feet out wide. Touch your knees to center. Feeling that kind of tingly, light, glowy sensation for your lower body, your legs, as the blood flow comes back, and pull your knees apart. And go ahead and just reach your legs out long, coming into our final resting pose, or Shavasana. Covering up with your sweater or sweatshirt if you need. We'll take one last collective intentional breath together. Deep breath in through the nose. Fill up the lungs, the chest, the belly. Really expand, hold your breath. And sigh it out through the mouth, slow and even. Fully sinking into the floor. Gently bring awareness back into your body while keeping your eyes closed. Gently reach one arm and then the other over your head. Pull your feet slightly closer together. Go ahead and roll onto one side, resting your head on your arm. Because this is a wind down, a chill class, we're just going to stay here for the remainder together. Head on your arm, relax on your side. Take one round of breath here to focus in on something that you're grateful for in your life today. It can be as simple as you want, even just gratitude for your body and being able to move today on your mat. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope to see you soon. Namaste.